Hello friends, I hope each one of you are safe and sound. Well, today I'll be ending the first series of my video relating to modern business insurance concept with yet another exciting and interesting topic, that is the keyman insurance or the key person insurance scheme. Over the past few years, the organizations have realized the importance of human resource within the organization. They have started considering human resource as the most vital asset within an organization. Moreover, they have started taking measures to protect their human resources, and Keyman Insurance is one such measure. Let us consider a case, or let us consider a hypothetical case. There is a partnership firm named AB and Company with two partners, partner A and partner B. AB and Company is totally dependent on its both two partners for its survival. The profit, growth, sustainability, and even the going concern is strongly going to get affected if any of these two partners is not there. Partner A dies. Now, the problem with partner B and AB and Company now are two. Firstly, the share of capital, the share of profit, the goodwill, the entire thing needs to be computed and it needs to be paid to the legal heir of the deceased partner, that is A. The second problem is the company is going to require a lot of cost in filling up the vacuum that has been created by the absence of one of its partners in form of training cost, recruiting new key person, and other related costs. Moreover, the profit is going to significantly come down. Now, this entire situation is going to lead to a cash crunch scenario for the firm. Keyman insurance is an effective tool that ensure protection that can ensure protection to the firm. Any firm or any company which is dependent upon its key person can easily secure or can easily ensure its financial stability by taking up a keyman insurance. How does the keyman insurance work? What is the scheme? Why it is beneficial? What are the mechanism of the entire scheme? The entire thing is going to be discussed in detail by me. So let me share the screen for you. Let us begin with a brief concept. In every organization, there are a few key persons who runs the show. They are the pillars of the organization. An unfortunate event, such as a death of a key personnel, may result in temporary or even permanent setback to the organization. Every organization requires protection against financial loss, such as liability, recruitment cost, training cost, etc., as discussed in the example. Keyman insurance forms a major part of business continuity plan. Friends, we all know what a BCP is. BCP is basically a manual wherein the continuity plans or the other business continuity plans are provided in case of unforeseen circumstances like natural disasters like floods, earthquake, etc. And Keyman insurance forms a major part of BCP. And all large organizations and medium-sized organizations have a BCP in force so that their going concern is not hampered in case of any mishap. Moving on. Who is the key man? Very important. A person instrumental to either gain or loss of the organization can be termed as a key man. An employee, director, or any other person in a key position in any organization whose services have significant effect on the profitability of the organization due to his technical background, experience in the field, industry-wide vision, or market image. A person whose permanent absence will affect the smooth functioning of the organization. Typical examples of key men are MD, CEO, directors, project managers, partners, etc. Moving on. Why key man insurance? Let us see. Sudden death of a key person creates vacuum in the organization. We have already seen in the case that we discussed in the title slide. It creates a tremendous vacuum in an organization, and it can severely affect the following: business sales, business momentum, liabilities of the organization, goodwill, credit of the company, cause delay or halt in new projects, increase cost and time consumption in grooming a new key person. All these are very important factors, and this actually determines the survival of the organization, and that is why key person insurance becomes very important. Face value of a key person. What are the factors that determine the face value of key person? Let us see. Investment that a company will require to develop a new key person, contribution of key person to profitability and growth of the organization, the potential loss that the organization is likely to suffer in case of death of the key person. All these factors combined are considered in determining the face value of the key person. Now let us see, how do we determine the face value in monetary terms? There are basically three methods. The first method is 3 times of average gross profit of the organization for the last 3 years. Second method is 5 times of average net profit of the organization for the last 5 years. Third method is 10 times of the annual compensation, including salary, bonus, and other perks. Least of the amount derived from the above method will be allowable sum assured for key person of the company. We get a figure by each of the three methods. The lowest of the three figures is going to be considered as the allowable sum assured for the key person of the company. Moving on to the most important part, which deals with tax benefits. What are the tax benefits? Let us see. Premium paid by the organization for key person insurance would be treated as an allowable deduction under section 37 subsection 1 of the Income Tax Act. Premium paid by the organization will not be treated as perquisite in the hands of key person under para 5 of section 17 subsection 2 of the Income Tax Act, since the key person does not derive any benefit from the insurance of his life. The maturity received by the organization on account of death of the key person will be added to the total business income of the organization and shall be taxed accordingly. Exemption under section 10(10)(d) will not be available to the organization. However, in case the policy has been assigned to the key man and the key man is paying the premium, then the maturity proceeds are exempt under section 10 subsection 10(b). Let us discuss in a nutshell the premium that the organization is going to pay for insuring the key person is going to be considered as allowable deduction under section 37 subsection 1. The premium paid by the organization will not be considered as a perquisite under section 17 subsection 2 of the Income Tax Act. The maturity received by the organization on account of death of key person shall be added to the total income of the organization and shall be taxed accordingly. Exemption under section 10(10)(d) will not be available. However, if the policy has been assigned to the key man and the key man is paying the premium, then the maturity proceeds are exempt under section 10(10)(d). Moving on to the advantages. It can be used as an instrument of tax planning as it gives substantial income tax saving to the organization. We have already discussed this in the earlier slide. No advance intimation or approval is required from tax authorities to claim deduction of insurance premium. The SSC can directly claim the deduction without any prior intimation or approval. It keeps the organization position stabilized in the market. The competitors will not be able to take advantage of the situation caused by unfortunate death of the key person. Friends, this is very important. We all know that an organization are surrounded by competitors, and competitors always keep an eye on its competing organization. And when they see a vacuum created in its competing organization on the absence of its key person, the competitors will take undue advantage. Key man insurance will assure that competitors do not take undue advantage of the situation caused by the unfortunate death of the key person. There are some restrictions. Let us have a look. Only term plans are allowed in key man insurance. Riders are not allowed. Term of cover should not exceed the retirement or superannuation age. Moving on to some of the requirements, medical requirements, it depends upon age and sum assured of the key person. Financial requirements, organization will be the proposer, copy of MOA, AOA for companies, partnership deed for partnership firm, any other registration certificate for any other kind of firms, board resolution, declaration, key personal questionnaire form duly signed by authorized signatory, income tax returns of key personnel. Friends, these are some of the most common forms. These are some of the most common documents that one require for key man insurance policy. The documents may vary from company to company. It depends upon company to company. And it is almost the same documents that we require for employer insurance scheme. What if key man retires prematurely? This is the most important question because a lot of question comes up that if after taking a key man insurance policy, the key person retires or leaves the job, then what are the options available? Let us see. On retirement, premature resignation, or on retirement or premature resignation of the key person, the organization has the following options. The organization can surrender the policy. The organization can assign the policy to the key person as the policy has no surrender value in most of the cases. If the policy, after attaining surrender value, is endorsed to the key person or is assigned to the key person, then the surrendered value is chargeable to tax under section 17 of the IT Act. It is treated as profit in lieu of salary in the hands of the employer or the key person. I hope it is clear. So that was it from my part. Thank you, friends. For any question, you can find me at the mentioned email ID and Facebook, LinkedIn links. Stay safe, stay indoor, and stay healthy. Thank you.